All right guys, today we're going to be discussing hinging movements. So this is going to cover the deadlift, the hang clean, and then we're also going to go into the kettlebell swing. So it's very similar to the deadlift. I'm just going to show you how they relate. So first off, the deadlift. All we're doing with the deadlift is getting the bar from the ground basically to a standing position, and the bar will be slightly below our hips. From there, I'm going to show you how to get it from your hips to your shoulder. That's called the clean. And then we're going to move on into our kettlebell swing. So with the deadlift, we always want to approach the bar. We don't ever want to roll the bar towards us. So I'm going to step up to the bar. I'm going to make sure that my shins are just a couple inches off the bar. The bar will be right over the top of my shoelaces, and my feet are going to be about hip width apart. From that point, I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab the bar. I want it to be about a thumb's width distance outside of my hips. And then before I stand up with the bar, I'm going to make sure that my back is really tight and flat. So from here, I'm going to drop down, find my grip. Now before I stand, I'm going to set my hips down, pull my chest up, and get my back nice and flat. Looks like this. That is our ready position. Then the bar is going to come right up our leg, and we're going to stand up and lock out all of our joints. Now from here, I'm going to send the bar back down, but my first motion is not going to be to bend my knees, okay? I want my first motion to be to send my hips back. Now I want to keep that bar on my leg. It doesn't leave my leg. Once I pass my knee, then I can bend. In real time, it looks like this. If you notice, this bar stays really close to my body, okay? I want it to travel over my midfoot. I never want that bar to come up over my toes, and I don't want it to float away from my quads. So basically from my knee all the way to standing, you should feel that bar riding right along your legs. After you come down and you pass your knee, then you can bend slightly. But the most important thing in the deadlift is that you don't just bend over, grab the bar, and lift with your back. We want you to lift with your legs. So in order to do that, you have to pull your chest up, set your hips down, get your back flat, get in this nice tight position here, and then push your legs through the ground to lift that bar up, okay? Some common flaws that we see sometimes with the deadlift is someone walking up and just pulling from here, okay? That's called lifting with our back. We never want to lift with our back with a deadlift. We want to get our back nice and tight and then transfer the power through our legs. Okay. All right, guys, now that we've learned how to safely get the bar from the ground to our hips, now we want to get the bar to our shoulders. So we're going to do that with a hang clean. I'm going to demonstrate that, and then I'm going to kind of show you the points of performance. So again, approach the bar, get your grip, set your hips down, chest up, bring that bar up your leg. Now from here, I'm going to slightly dip. My shoulder is going to come right over the top of the bar, and I'm going to push through my legs, shrug my shoulders, and catch the bar. In real time, it looks like this. Now, in my landing position, my hands are open, my elbows are forward, and the bar is on my shoulders. I'm going to bring the bar down exactly the same way it came up and keep it close to my body. All right, now from here, I'll show you one more time. Dip, jump and catch, and then stand. Okay, so if you notice, what I'm not trying to do is just pull the bar up. I'm doing a slight dip, and then I'm using my legs and powerfully pushing to the ground to send that bar up, and then I catch it on my shoulders. So that's how we get the bar from the ground to your shoulders. All right, guys, last time we're going to cover the kettlebell swing. I incorporated this movement because it's similar to our deadlift, so I'm going to demonstrate the Russian swing and then the American swing, and then we'll kind of break it down. So I'm going to start with my kettlebell slightly between my feet. I'm going to back swing first. The Russian swing, the kettlebell comes right at my eyeballs. The American swing, it's going to go all the way overhead. At the top of the swing, I'm slightly tilting the kettlebell forward. I'll kind of pause at the top. I do this because I don't want the kettlebell to send me backwards. A lot of times if you let that kettlebell come all the way up, it can take you backwards. So you got to be careful with that. So breaking down the kettlebell swing. The reason why I say it's similar to the deadlift is because it uses a lot of your posterior chain, which is going to be your hamstrings, your glute, your low back. It's a hinging motion similar to our deadlift. So we want to make sure that we don't turn it into a squatting motion, and we don't want to be pulling with our arms. The bottom part of our kettlebell swing, it looks similar to our deadlift. So if I were to set my hips back and the kettlebell's right here, my shins are going to be vertical, my shoulders slightly forward, and then my hands and my forearms are going to go slightly between my legs right here. At this point, think about your legs actually kind of pushing on your arms and sending it forward, okay? So the quicker I stand up, snap those hips, the more power I'm giving to the kettlebell. If I stand up slow, I'm gonna have to pull that kettlebell up, and it turns more into an arm movement than expressing power through your hips. So just make sure that you're thinking about it like a slightly load to the hips and then fire. Send that kettlebell up through the power of your leg drive, okay? That is the kettlebell swing.